earlier today, clashes erupted inside the Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem. Israeli police said they entered the mosque to dislodge agitators. The Palestinian movement Hamas denounced the police action as unprecedented and a crime. Hamas, which rules the Gaza Strip, called on Palestinians in the West Bank to go en masse to the Aqsa mosques to defend it. The Israeli police said that the agitators had barricaded themselves inside the mosque with fireworks, sticks and stones. The mosque compound in the old city of East Jerusalem has previously seen clashes and violence between Palestinians and Israelis. Clashes have been particularly witnessed during Ramadan, which draws tens of thousands of worshippers to the mosque. The holy Muslim site is built on top of what Jews call the Temple Mount, Judaism's holiest site. The fresh violence comes nearly halfway through Ramadan and as Jews prepare to celebrate the Passover. Israeli police released video footage showing what appeared to be fireworks explosions inside the mosque. Another police video shows riot police with shields advancing through the mosque under a barrage of fireworks and explosions. The footage then shows a barricaded door and boxes of fireworks on the floor. Israeli police said they stepped in after law-breaking youths and masked agitators barricaded themselves inside. A statement said that they detained rioters who caused damage to the mosque and also caused other areas to be spoiled around it. After the announcement of the clashes at Al-Aqsa, several rockets were reportedly fired from the northern Gaza Strip towards the Israeli territory. The Israeli army said 5 rockets fired from the Gaza Strip were intercepted by the aerial defense system. The Israeli army said 4 other rockets fell in uninhabited areas, and Israeli fighter jets later struck 2 Hamas weapons manufacturing sites in central Gaza in response to the rocket fire. Earlier in Gaza, dozens of demonstrators took to the streets overnight, burning tires. Egypt has condemned the Israeli police action. Egypt's government warned the clashes could undermine the truce efforts in which Cairo is engaged with regional and international partners. Remember, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict has been sucked into a spiral of violence since the start of the year. The conflict has reportedly claimed lives of at least 91 Palestinians, 15 Israelis and 1 Ukrainian since January. Our correspondent Jody Cohen joins us now live from Jerusalem. Jody, thanks for talking to us this evening. What's the situation on the ground at the moment? This has been a year of escalating tensions between Israel and Palestine.
It has, absolutely. 2022 has been called the deadliest year for both sides for a number of years. Now, I'm actually standing at the seam between East and West Jerusalem, and this is a place that in the past has seen a number of attacks against Israeli civilians. Thankfully, nothing over the past 24 hours. We're also hearing that on the Temple Mount Al-Aqsa compound, things seem to have calmed down. We're not hearing of more rockets fired from Gaza into Israeli towns, and we haven't heard of any more strikes from Israel to Hamas, attacking their Hamas training camp in Gaza. So we're not hearing of a more right now. We do know that the Ramadan fast is coming to an end, and soon the Muslims in the area will be celebrating the Iftar feast. Also, Jews will be celebrating the first night of Passover, so it's very quiet on the streets right now with people making preparations for those feasts. But we are hearing in the latest that a UAV has reportedly been spotted over the border in northern Israel, and local residents there are reporting hearing of an explosion. So we'll find out more about that, I'm sure, in due course.
Right, so of course tensions continue, and this comes during the holy month of Ramadan and the Jewish Passover, drawing condemnation from the Arab world and also furious reactions from the West Bank. How is Israel likely to respond to any further escalation here?
So I think we'll see a continued pattern of what we've seen. So you mentioned that masked youth barricaded themselves inside the mosque. And reportedly, the Israeli police say negotiators went in to try to get them to open the doors to allow people in to pray there. That didn't happen. They said that they were forced to go in, and then we saw the riots. We saw 350 people arrested on the Palestinian side. We then saw the rockets fired from Gaza into Israel, and then we saw Israel's response against the Hamas targets. So if we're likely to see more events taking place, we're likely to see a response. We know the National Security Minister, Ben Gvir, would like to see a stronger response and has asked to convene the Security Cabinet. Netanyahu, interestingly, has said that Israel will act to maintain the status quo and enable free access to people of all religions. So it really remains to be seen what happens. And another interesting point that I did hear from Netanyahu was actually that he talked about Iran being responsible for 95% of the security threats that Israel faces currently. And we know that Iran is coordinating with Hamas and Palestinian Islamic Jihad as well. But much will happen, much will depend on what happens over the next 24 hours. We have seen attacks on Passover in the past. And we also know that on Friday, that's the busiest time at the Aqsa Mosque generally, but especially so at Ramadan. It's also coinciding with Passover, and it's also, of course, coinciding with the Christian festival of Easter. So it's a very busy time, and security is on high alert.
Jody Cohen, appreciate you joining us there with the very latest coming in from Jerusalem.